Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the MiscELENAeous podcast. I'm your host, Elena. It'd be weird if I wasn't. And this week, we have Brooke Shelby on the podcast. Woo! I have to admit something to you right now. I have no idea how to pronounce your Instagram handle.
I don't either, so it's okay.
Oh, my gosh. Thank God. Because I'm in the middle of this, intro, and I'm like, I've figured out your name for sure.
Yeah.
But, your Instagram handle is not your name.
It's not my name.
Okay.
It's a French word.
Okay.
It means to chatter and gossip with your friends.
Cute.
Just don't know how to pronounce it. I'm Texan, so I say LeJaspiner.
LeJaspiner.
Yeah, it's spelled the wrong way as well. It's supposed to be an L-A, but I did the L-E, so yeah.
I like that there's some inconsistencies there and just a little French sprinkle along the way, too, because the real misfits know I, too, am a French influencer, but Texan is hell.
Yeah.
So we just have
Look at us.
Look at us. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Not me.
Oh, my God. We need a France trip.
Okay. I'll book that right after this, actually. Okay, so you are a pop culture commentator online, which is honestly a great Instagram handle if it means to chatter and gossip.
To gossip. That's
Which
what we like
but
to
you
do.
also used to be a professional dancer.
Yes, I was a dancer for the Cowboys. On the dance team.
Royalty.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboy Rhythm and Blue.
Cute.
I did that, and previously their arena football team, the Desperados. I did that for 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
And we were on America's Got Talent. It was a good time.
Y'all, that's big.
Yeah.
So how did you transition from doing that into what you do now?
Because
you're also very stylish. You post a lot about clothes and really great outfits.
Yeah. I love fashion, love style.
Every single day I see her stuff and I'm laying in bed in the same t-shirt I've been wearing for 3 days and I'm like, God, I really got to try harder.
But what's funny is the stuff that I post, whenever I post it, I'm in bed in sweatshirt, t-shirt, looking like a scrub. That's what we do.
It's the duality of life.
Exactly.
We can be both. We can be gross and very fashionable too.
We're women. That's what we do.
Yeah. So do you just have a love for pop culture? I feel like you have a love for reality TV.
Yeah, that's like my jam. And that's kind of how I ended up with this Instagram page that I have. It was somebody else's page, and I kind of bought in to help her with it. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds totally weird.
It is a little weird, but we like weird here.
Yeah, it was during lockdown, during the pandemic. I was bored as fuck. I didn't know what I was doing. I got really into Bravo pages, and this girl had this Bravo page. And I was like, hey, I've got some tea on some stuff. Can I get in on this with you? She's like, sure. She ends up having a full-blown meltdown. This is a whole story.
Relatable.
It is insane. She ends up having a meltdown, leaving me with the page. And I was so overwhelmed because the stuff that was being sent into this page, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. And it was very, very negative. You know how there's that negative dark side of reality TV.
I really
internet.
do.
Yeah,
I really do know
we
all
know
about that.
We know all about it. That was what this page was. And it was just scary as fuck to me. And so I was like, I need to take a step back and kind of just transferred the page into me and talking about not the fun side of reality TV. Yes, the fun side of reality TV, but also kind of the stuff that's going on and the stuff that's happening, I just don't like taking it to a dark place. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it light.
There's enough kind of shit
there is.
in that world already, honestly, without the help of fans chiming in. And I even remember coming off Big Brother years and years ago, and I mean, they live for that drama. They live for the drama. They live for the fights. They would start fights between us. I would get messages in my DM I was just on so-and-so's and so-and-so's Instagram live, and they were talking shit about you, and they said this and that. So then, of course, I'm not emotionally mature, which is why they picked me for reality television. So I had a reaction to this.
Well, and you're
I'm
human.
like, fuck you, bitch. So I get on, and then later, when everybody is actually calmed down and having a healthy conversation about it, they're like, we never said that. Here's the live. Watch it. And I'm like, damn you fans. I think they congregate together and try to figure out how they want to best stir shit up, because it was multiple people sending me the same thing.
And the thing that's really bad right now is there are a ton of pages that are fan pages dedicated to. So I'll use Bravo's example because that's the world that I'm in. There are Bravo fan pages that are now instigating that as well and really blowing it up. There's one page out there that has I think they have almost 1 million followers with they have housewives in their pocket, giving them stuff. And then it starts a whole thing. And then it's nutty.
Yeah. I mean, in my corner of reality television, there's there were always 2 or 3 like quote spoiler accounts that would, know stuff or be, have a bigger following and actually communicate with other contestants, or that they would know stuff
that's what was happening. Okay, because I'm a Big Brother fan. I auditioned for season 6, made it to the final. Like,
oh my god!
I know. I haven't really talked about this. I made it to they flew me out there. I was in a hotel, locked in the hotel room. You don't get a key. And did 4 or 5 interviews, and then they were like, "Okay, you're going on a plane back home. Thanks for your time." And it was the season where they did the Secret Friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jen Vasquez was the one that was cast that season, and they were trying to find her friend. And so it was me and 3 other girls that went out there. And as they were doing the interviews, I was like, holy shit, I am not prepared for this. I do not need to go on this show. This will be bad for my mental health.
Yeah, I can go ahead and confirm that it would have been bad for your mental health.
End scene. Yeah. And so they're asking these questions and all this stuff. And I was like, holy cow, I will get eaten alive if I go in that house. So anyways, they sent me home. I
pretty much did.
No, you did. You did great, girl. Loved it.
So you watched
fun.
my season 2?
Yes, of course. Are you kidding me?
Cool. Oh my gosh. And you liked me, right? You have to say yes. You're on my podcast.
You're a Texas girl, of course.
I know you always pick the Texan and root for that. I mean, even if it's every season, I'm like, oh, Texan. Oh, DFW Texan. Yeah. I'm putting all my chips on you.
Yeah. And I think, and every season it's I don't think there's anybody that I haven't liked. Because they're all they do such a great job casting. Everybody has their role. You can see.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're very, very specific about their choices to really rile us up against each other. There's a lot of thought that goes into that in psychology. But yeah, it's just a wild world out there, especially when it comes to reality TV stuff, because I feel like we're more accessible than big stars. An actress playing a part in a movie or a show, people will become a fan, but you don't always get a taste of who their authentic self is. And they're so out of reach, they're so big, but the reality stars, we're a little bit more accessible. So I kind of feel like sometimes a lot of that drama and shit is almost gets fanning the flame.
Yes.
We're part of it too.
Yeah.
Because we just all make it worse together. And then the reality show continues in real life.
Yeah.
But on that note, I feel like it would be fun to have some pop culture chats today with the pop culture queen herself. So I asked my followers, and I believe you did too, what their what moments in pop culture, tabloid rumors, or celebrity gossip in the past that really shook them. Something that stuck with them. They wanted to know more. Or just it'll pop back into your head years and years later. And I'm curious if we all kind of have a lot of the same ones, or if it's just all over the place.
Well, on my page, everybody pretty much had the same one that all involved Britney Spears. So it was either the meltdown or her kiss with Madonna and Christina at was it VMAs?
I believe so. Yeah,
one of them. Yeah, those were the 2 main moments. And Scandival.
Obviously, these are big ones. So I'm surprised that Scandival did not come up on mine. But,
really?
Britney definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
And I even made a list of my own that I'm these are things that I've always kind of remembered. And I wrote down on my list Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
Just and we even touched on this, I think, on a couple episodes back. I had an episode about my younger self would absolutely lose it. And to think of what they were to us when we were young and now to see it, it's just crazy the things that they've been through.
It really is. I mean, we've literally watched it play out from the beginning to the point that we're at now. And the point that we're at now with both of them is so heartbreaking and devastating.
Yeah.
I guess, because we've literally watched their highest high, and it's we're in, I don't want to say they're in their lowest low. They're just in places that are
adjacent, at least.
Yeah. And it's just these 2 phenomenally talented women that were eaten up by an industry. And now we're seeing these people that we idolize just
kind of crumbling.
Yeah. And it's just
that's such a
sad.
testament to how toxic the entertainment industry can be. It's very scary out there. So that being said, listen to the MiscELENAeous podcast for your entertainment. Don't buy into the rest of this shit. You're just hurting other people somehow.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just listen to me, okay? This is a healthy work environment. sort of. But yeah, another one that came up multiple times for me, Britney adjacent, is Jamie Lynn Spears getting pregnant at 16.
I had that one too. I had a few of those.
Yeah. So I looked that up, and that was, I was graduating high school at that time. So
I don't really know much about it. I just know she got pregnant at 16.
Yeah, it was in 2008 was when the baby was born. And I want to say she was still starring in her, wasn't she like on a show or in a show at the time, and then got pregnant? She was like a high school girl in a show, like on Disney Channel or something, and then she gets pregnant.
This is going to bother me.
It was Zoe 101.
Zoe 101! Yes.
Yes, that's what it was.
I never watched any of the Nickelodeon shows, except like the old school ones, like Double Dare. That was like more my generation. I literally had graduated high school when all those like shows like Zoe 101 and all that started coming out. So 16.
Yeah. And I feel like
that
one impacted me a little bit more, just I think because of how close in age I was to her. Like I was 17 at the time, and it just kind of rocked the, like, especially me growing up in like Christian school, like, we're over here promising to never have sex. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this child is
you
like
grew up in
with
Fort
child.
Worth, right?
I did.
Okay. So that's
it's like small town vibes.
Yep.
So we weren't allowed to hold hands back when I was 17.
Forbidden.
So yeah, that one was so crazy. Another one that came up a couple times for me that I feel like is in this arena was Lindsay Lohan going to rehab.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And one of the submissions I got was specifically that her OMG pop culture moment was Lindsay Lohan going to rehab, and then her anecdote about that was that she ended up in the same rehab center a couple of years later. And she was like, so, I mean, it sucked, but it was like kind of cool.
Yeah. That's your like claim to fame. I went to the same rehab center as Lindsay Lohan. I love that. No, this is while Lindsay Lohan had the ankle monitor on.
Yeah. She was going to parties with an ankle monitor.
My favorite is the picture of her with the surfboard, and she's got like full bathing suit on, and then like the ankle monitor.
I actually met a girl filming a show a few years ago in LA who also had an ankle monitor on, and she was like very embarrassed by it and was always like wearing pants and this, that, whatever. And I was like, girl, you got to Lindsay Lohan the fuck out of this.
100%.
Just embrace it. Like, wear the cutest shoes, bedazzle it, like, talk about it, tell everyone about it. It takes away the shame. It gives you power. It makes you seem unbothered and cool, and like, yeah, you're in your healing era, but at least your ankle monitor's bedazzled. You can match it to your outfits, and she did this shit, and I loved it.
Do you remember that Lindsay this is like whenever Twitter was first a thing, and she went to Twitter and was like, Chanel, will you please make something for my ankle monitor? And then Chanel, like 2 seasons later on the runway, had like it was a purse, but it was an ankle purse. It looked like an ankle monitor with that big old CC on there.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of iconic. And, God forbid I need to be in this position ever at any point in my life, but guarantee that if I do, I will be dressing that ankle monitor up to the nines every day.
I'm a master bedazzler, so I'll help you.
Oh my God, that's
I'm
amazing.
really good at crystallizing
I was about to say I'm going to have to learn a new hobby. I have no skill set here, but
I got you, girl.
My girl does.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, were there any other big ones that were popping up for you?
Okay, I had one, but it's like really niche.
Ooh, I love that.
It's very Dallas. Do you remember The Dirty?
Yes.
The website. That was like within Dallas, Fort Worth, and I think like some other towns. Like that was a really big deal. It was like this website where people would go on to like trash talk other girls. Mm-hmm. And do you remember this at all? No? I'm like, I see your eyes back there. She's like, what?
I think Madelyn might be too young.
Okay, yeah, I guess because this was like 2006 through 2010.
I would have been pretty young.
Okay, yeah, it was.
Did I say too old or too young?
I don't remember.
Just now.
Either way, I'm offended.
Yeah,
either way.
Should be.
Either way.
Yeah, no, you would have been. I was thinking you would be too young to know about that.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
This website just had a chokehold on anybody that was like in the Dallas like going out scene, and then there were like other cities. There was LA, there was Miami, and it was just trash talk. It was the most negative, toxic website you could. It was icky is the perfect way, but like it had a chokehold on anybody that was like involved
In
in
that
going
scene,
out.
yeah.
It was such a big moment. It was like you'd go out and be like, oh my God, I saw you on The Dirty. Oh my God, I saw you on The Dirty. And then it's like,
Were you ever on The Dirty?
I was, because it was actually our dance team. It was whenever we were on America's Got Talent.
Right. Yeah, so of course you're going to be
so
talked about.
They were, of course, talking about us, saying these women are hideous, more like the Dallas Desperado men. Like, it was
nasty.
Yeah, it was nasty. And of course, we laughed at it. Like, it's like, really, you took time to take to a website to do that. But
yeah, it says a lot more about the commentator than the receiver of commentary, for sure.
You know, and I'm in the boat, like, any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, same. I'll take it.
I'll live rent free in your head.
Yeah, I honestly, every time people hate comment me, I just pin it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you clearly need attention. Let me give it to you. And also, a little tidbit is this is going to make me look better, and my post is actually going to perform better because your featured comment talking shit about me. Now people are invested and they want to defend me and they want to read the rest of the comments. So thank you for all of my engagement.
Yes.
I just made money off your ass.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I probably. I was gonna say I probably shouldn't tell people that little trick, but I don't think people that hate me listen to this.
Yeah, well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. People do love to hate listen.
They do.
I hate watch House Hunters.
Do you really?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Sean and I love it. It's like one of our favorite pastimes. We'll just lay in bed and we're like, "What's wrong with that? Look at that. Did you see that light fixture? Ugh." Like, it's so much fun.
House Hunters is one of my least favorite renovation shows, so I'm kind of I won't hate watch it, but I just there's something about it compared to other ones where I'm like, y'all need to step up your game.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Doing enough for you?
Ooh, I love Hometown.
Oh yeah,
or Love It or List It.
I love It or List It.
Love
Oh,
It or
and you
List
can
It.
tell that like the fighting is fake. It's like very obvious that they've like told him like, hey, y'all are gonna disagree on this, and we need y'all to go all in. And like the people are not good actors about it, but it's so much fun to watch.
The thing is like people are always like, here's the budget, and then Hillary, who's the designer, she's always like, you understand that I can't do anything with this.
And then she gets her little like interview like where she's like going off about them behind their backs.
She's like walking in a circle. She's like, I can't believe they've done this. It's insane. It's so good. I love it.
Wait, based on her accent alone, I want to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Based on just your reenactment of her accent alone,
that was that was really good.
Oh, thank you.
That was a great accent.
Thank you so much.
I can't do an accent to save my
Neither
life.
I was also going to ask, do you think did The Dirty come out before or after Gossip Girl?
Oh, way before.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's almost like an original party scene Gossip Girl type situation.
And the guy that started it's just a complete trash bag of a human.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You'd really have to be for that
aggressive.
to be your hobby. You'd have to be a garbage can person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
If you're like, I'm going to spend my time like curating this whole entire website to talk shit about the women that live in my city.
Oh, and he commented on like he would post people's submissions and then like have his take on it for every city. Like,
gross.
Yeah.
That guy is unhealed.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling he's still probably
a
trash bag human.
Yeah, I think he ended up marrying like somebody
who would marry him?
Famous adjacent in Hollywood. And like somebody's daughter.
Interesting.
And then of course they had like a huge like blow up divorce that was like
well, okay, that tracks.
And he has a daughter. He has a daughter. It's
that shit always comes back to you.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, probably not. We will pray for her.
Fingers crossed for you, honey.
Okay, so there is also another big theme in my submissions and my personal submissions.
Okay.
That's going to be the Kardashians. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I don't care what you think. I do be loving the Kardashians. Even when I love to hate it, even in the moments where I'm like, I don't agree about this, I'm fucking tuned in.
It's entertaining. They are reality TV gold. They are. I don't even know what they set the standard. I guess.
And no one will ever reach that standard. No. It's like even when they do everything wrong, they're getting it right.
Exactly.
They are geniuses.
I can listen to them talk. There's something about it's almost like ASMR. I don't even know.
Just their tone, the way they say certain words, like everything about them to me is so fucking interesting. Yeah. And it's just undeniable how much they do influence our culture and our society. Whether you want to admit it or not, I've said this on my podcast, you can hate the Kardashians. You can hate them. I'll allow it. You're allowed to hate them. But what you're not allowed to do is deny the fact that they have influenced you in some way or another, because you are, speaking primarily to women, but like you are living in a society and a culture that is literally directly influenced. So even if you don't feel like you're personally impacted by Kim Kardashian, she's impacting high fashion. She's impacting social commentary, and she's impacting reality television. She's in finance now. Her foot is in everything, and they do set the standard for
really do.
everything. I mean, they're
smart business-wise. Like, they're
truly,
businesswomen.
They are all so smart. And I'm grateful to be living in their time, because they have made getting older seem younger.
Yes.
It's like in my opinion, thanks to the Kardashians, the 30s are the new 20s, 40s are the new 30s. Like, we get to, they're like, not allowing, but kind of like.
Yeah, showing that it's okay. It is okay to act. You don't have to act like because no knock on my parents and the generation before them. They acted old. They got old. They acted old. They're like,
they looked old.
I'm 30 now. I need to do that.
Yeah.
No,
I bet your ass when I'm in my 50s, I'm still going to be getting Botox. I'm still going to be coloring my hair. I'm still going to be like trying to dress up and look cute, because just because we get a little older doesn't mean we just like toss all of that out the window.
Absolutely
and I feel
not.
like they've kind of like paved that way. And I'm sure so many other people have too, especially in the entertainment industry alone. But like, they're the ones who are directly impacting like our society's culture and like what we're doing and trends and like everything. It's wild. So that being said, little credit to the Kardashians. Tristan cheating on Khloe with Kylie's friend, Jordan.
Yes.
That one came up
that
a couple
one
times.
was huge. That was jaw-dropping. It's like her friend. It's Jordan, who was Kylie's friend, who they were younger. They're like the younger, not daughter, younger sister. And at the time, I want to say they were like 18 or 20, were they?
They were young.
Know
so that happened in. Okay, I did a little research on this because there's some. This
Timeline's key.
Yeah, and this relationship between Tristan and Khloe is an ongoing one, but Khloe and Tristan started dating off and on in 2016. Then he first cheated on her in April of 2008. And when we say first cheated on
reported.
her, we mean first recorded cheat.
Yes.
Yeah, because anybody that's doing that behavior just a couple days before their daughter is born, you didn't have to try that hard.
He just got busted.
Yeah, you've been doing that. That's an easy choice for you to make. But yeah, that was April of 2018. Just a few days before True before she was induced. And then, as y'all know, the story goes on. They kind of get back together later. He's seemingly wonderful. And then in February of 2019 is when the news breaks that he slept with Jordyn Woods, Kylie's best friend. And still, same. She had just gone and gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
Inseminated. Whatever process they did. So, I mean, shocking, jaw-dropping. And then I feel like, has handled it with such grace, especially for like...
And he had a kid. He had a kid with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a
That's
he has
right.
a son.
I forgot, because the first cheat, that's how the first recorded cheat came to be, became a tweet, was because that woman was pregnant. And like, and honestly, like about to give birth, right?
And she is still out there like... He has not claimed this is my child. Maybe he did claim this is my child, but like, he does not have interaction. He does not support. And she is very vocal about it on Instagram and TikTok.
I might have to deep dive on that later.
Yes. And I know every relationship is different. Some people have things that they can tolerate, things they cannot tolerate. But having a child with somebody else while in a relationship, and I'm having a child for you,
there is no grace in my body for that. That fucking happens to me. You ain't catching an ounce of Khloe Kardashian grace. I will bury you alive on this podcast.
It's giving Utah Mormon that.
It's so wild that she was even ever able to bounce back from that. All for it to happen again. And not only that, but like almost incestually. Yeah. Because Jordyn Woods was like... always there,
and
always at the house.
And the younger one, it's the age thing that also gets me.
Yeah, they're at least like 15 years apart, right?
Yeah, and he was around her when she was underage.
Yes.
That's... Ew. I know. The whole underage thing is creepy as fuck to me. And I don't know if it's just because I'm a mom and I have a daughter
Yeah.
And so that, and like also growing up in the cheer industry, some really shady shit went on. I had a boyfriend that was like 6 years older than me when I should not have been in that situation.
Yeah.
And it got really creepy and really gross really fast. And so seeing it, I'm just like,
you have like a guard up. It's like trigger, like no.
Save the kids.
Yeah.
Save the girls. Like you don't need to have the older boyfriend that's so massively older than you. Like it doesn't. Anyways, I can go on and on about that.
It's honestly terrifying, like, to how easily, like, we can fall into that whole world of, you know, almost like grooming, essentially. And it makes me now wonder, especially with, like, you bringing up that point, because I hadn't even thought about it like that. Like, he had been around her when she was, like, a preteen.
Yeah.
Like, at what point were you then sexually attracted to her? And, like, were you already making, you know, kind of comments or passes? Like, attempting this goal of yours.
Can't wait till she turns 18 is, like, literally one of the grossest comments ever.
Literally. Yeah. So gross. And then just to see it all kind of, and again, we get to see it all play out, especially since they have a reality TV show and they're like the most famous people in the world. But for her to still continue to keep him in the family and in her life and in the kids' lives and like show him any grace or empathy.
I would be on a Dateline.
Yeah. Yes. I would be the star of somebody else's murder podcast.
100%.
Because you are no longer with us, unfortunately. Yeah. There was some other Kardashian related news. And for me personally, some of the things that really wowed me and stick with me were, one, Kim and Kanye getting married.
Okay. Let's get it. How long do we have? Let's get into Kim and Kanye.
We have time for Kim and Kanye anytime.
Okay. There is a thing that has been, I love TikTok. I love conspiracy theories.
Same.
I like all night long. I can just go and I even watch it with the volume down because I don't want Sean to hear. I'm like, I know he's going to judge me because I watch some weird shit on TikTok.
You're like, I'll deep dive in privacy.
Okay. So they get married. They have, and it was adorable. That was another like chokehold on us. Like, oh my gosh, they were so cute. But the divorce. So they split up. This is the thing. This is the conspiracy theory thing that I have been going down, that Kanye now is not actually Kanye West. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so there is an interview of him saying, and this is like this is right before he goes off the deep end, right before he stops taking his meds, because we know that he struggles with mental health issues. I'm there. I'm the you gotta take your meds, Prestige, Lamictal, do it. Take it every day.
Don't skip a dose, folks.
I started driving here, realized I forgot to take it. I turned right back around. You don't skip it. Anyways, so he stops taking, and right before, he gives this interview to the paparazzi, and he says, if I go missing for a little bit, which he did, and I come back, I am not Kanye West. I am telling y'all right now, there are people, and he starts like hinting. I just got chills. He starts hinting at the people that are in control of Hollywood, the media, all of the stuff. They have more control than you think they do. And he says, like, if I go missing and I come back and I am not acting like myself, I am not Kanye West. They have gotten to me.
That
so think about that now.
Fuck out. And one of the reasons and Misfits know this. I used to be the biggest Kanye West fan.
Samesingtons.
And like just truly, like, since high school, like 8th grade, freshman year, I'm like all in on Kanye West.
Kanye's Workout Plan is one of my favorite songs in the entire world. Like, I can jam out to that on repeat in my car.
Yeah,
for my
forever.
Kid, though.
So I'm like, watching his like decline mentally has also been, especially because I'm someone who has struggled deeply with mental health, that I have empathy for him and all this stuff. But I've always respected how much he would like really just talk to people. And like, even in his music, like, I'm a Christian, I love the Lord, but I party a little bit, you know? And he's literally has worship music. His raps talk about God. But then at the same time, he's like talking about cocaine and like being at the club with strippers and stuff like that. And
he's human. He's a real person.
Yes. It's like being able to speak to the people that actually need to hear these things and can relate to that, but then also relate to this. I just respected how honest he was. And then he came into like, do all of his interviews, people would talk about how crazy he sounds, which, especially when all you're hearing are little clips of things, it's like very easy to be like, what the fuck was that? Because he is so weird.
Sorry, I just thought about his, did you ever see the telethon that he was on? And it's like him and Mike Myers.
No, I don't think so.
For some reason, he freezes up, and you can tell he's like nervous, and all of a sudden he goes, George Bush doesn't like black people. Like, and Myers is like,
how do I
what to do.
navigate this? Like that, it's just, he's so weird. But like, he's also always been known as like this whistleblower that would like tell you the truth.
Absolutely.
And so that makes me even more like invested in this conspiracy theory too, because I'm like, yo, you've said a lot of fucking, and y'all go, if you don't believe me, you can sit here and not believe me, but go do the research. Go do the fucking research, and you will know. You will believe me then. A lot of the crazy fucking shit he said in the past, true.
Yes,
it came true.
Yes.
We saw the effects of it. We saw it happen. You actually listened to the whole interview and you're like, oh, fuck, he just said what about this?
Like,
what does this mean? Like, they took him? Did they clone him?
I don't know.
Did they inject him with something? Did any of this even happen, or was he just off his meds? Like, there's so much to unpack.
Yep. That is my TikTok feed right now, is that and our fake son that we apparently have.
You have a fake son?
No, the sun that we have now. The sun.
the sun in the sky, guys.
The sun in the sky. There's a whole conspiracy theory.
I have not been on TikTok in a while. Clearly, I'm missing out on some good content.
Apparently, during the eclipse, they switched out our sun.
Oh, they switched out our sun with a different sun.
Yeah, China made it. Yeah.
Oh, of course, China made a sun.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Okay, the Kanye thing, way more believable to me than that. I believe that, like, Hollywood execs could have taken Kanye and, like, given him brain shock therapy and then put him back out in the world.
100%.
Far more than
the fake sun.
Thing.
I don't believe the fake sun, but it's so much fun.
Oh, but it's so interesting.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then you can't help but, like, dig into those comments because that's where the crazy really lives.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Man, it's a wild, wild, wild world we're living in.
It really is. And it's entertaining.
I was about to say,
at least it's not boring.
And thanks to that, we will never run out of content. So, Brooke, thank you so much for being our pop culture commentator today. Y'all can go follow her on Instagram to keep up with more pop culture, especially reality TV, Bravo News, at... Well, we don't know how to say it. LeJaspiner, but that's LeJaspiner. And stay tuned for another episode where she's coming back so that we can
conspiracy theory it out,
dissect even more crazy things. I love that. Yay. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you are subscribed, that you're following along on Instagram at Elena Davies, at MiscELENAeous Podcast. Tell all your friends, your grandma, buy merch. Stay the fuck tuned, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yay Networks.